2004 in Seattle, Washington, and then again in 2010 in Fort Worth, Texas. In Seattle, he shot out the tires of a neighbor's car when he got angry, and in Texas, he discharged a gun in his apartment, and he said that was an accident. Now, the police looked into both of those, but he was never prosecuted, so there are no convictions on his record.
Randall Carrick, the Charlotte police officer charged with voluntary manslaughter in the death of an unarmed man who was shot as he sought help after a car crash, is due in court today. Correspondent Jim Krasula has more.
Charlotte police say white officer Randall Carrick fired 12 times, hitting Jonathan Farrell, an unarmed 24-year-old black man, 10 times in the chest. Farrell was fatally shot as he ran toward police, presumably looking for help after a single-vehicle car accident early Saturday morning. The 27-year-old police officer is to appear in court today on manslaughter charges.
Police have arrested one man and are looking for a second man in the shooting death of a man that prompted a lockdown of Livingstone College and Salisbury High School. 19-year-old Abraham Iman Jenkins of Salisbury was shot and killed Monday afternoon. Rescue efforts continue today in remote parts of Colorado following severe flooding last week. For the past few days, helicopters have been flying into areas cut off by the water, plucking out stranded residents. CBS News correspondent Anna Warner in Boulder rode along with one of the search and rescue teams and got a look.
Roads completely washed away, with the pavement sort of lying in the creek below. Homes that essentially have been dismantled by the water.
You're listening to NCN News.
It's September, and there's never been a better time to improve the energy efficiency of your home. That's why North Carolina's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives are here with a few simple suggestions that are good for your wallet and the world. Did you know that the average American family washes nearly 400 loads of laundry every year? But if you invest in an Energy Star rated washing machine, you can reduce your energy by a third and use half the water for the same amount of laundry. In fact, an Energy Star rated washing machine could save you up to $135 a year on your energy bill alone. That $135 is another great example of how smart energy usage can help you clean up with savings. These energy efficiency tips are brought to you by North Carolina's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, who are always looking out for you. Find out how the little changes add up at TogetherWeSave.com. That's TogetherWeSave.com.
The best way to experience a John Deere is from the driver's seat. And at James River Equipment, we're giving you that opportunity at our open house event and Drive Green Challenge on September 21st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our newest location in Shelby. Test drive equipment and experience John Deere quality firsthand. You'll get expert advice from James River specialists on choosing the right equipment and implements for your needs. Get huge discounts on John Deere tractor implements and check out our beautiful new facility in Shelby at 703 North Post Road, Highway 180. Plus, guests who register at the event get a $500 off coupon and 0% financing on any new John Deere 1 Series through 6 Series tractors. And you can enter to win a new John Deere 1 Series tractor. That's September 21st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our newest James River location in Shelby, 703 North Post Road, Highway 180. Don't miss out. Visit JamesRiverEquipment.com for more info. James River, here for you, here for life. $500 offer ends 11/30/13. Must be in attendance. Day of event to receive. Restrictions apply. See dealer for complete details.
Some pharmacists are more interested in meeting quotas than meeting with you about your prescriptions. At Smith Drug Store in Gastonia, they always make time for you. As your pharmacy, it's their job to get to know you, your health history, and your medications. If you think your pharmacy is more concerned with their bottom line than your good health, come see Smith Drug Store. They are there for you. Smith Drug Store on Main Street in downtown Gastonia.
Since 1983, Bill Shuford Heating and Air has been providing dependable service and quality products to the Cleveland County and surrounding area. And the tradition continues today with quality American Standard heating and air conditioning systems. Plus, if you need a repair, Bill Shuford Heating and Air services all brands including Trane. Just call 704-484-0025 for Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby, your American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. It's where your comfort is our concern. Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain has America's top-selling subcompact tractor of the decade. the Kubota BX Series. And now you can save big with this special offer from Kubota and Parker Farm Service. Now you can buy the new Kubota BX Series tractor for zero money down, 0% APR financing for 60 months. But that's not all. You get a $500 customer instant rebate. Find out all the details at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive at the Oak Grove, Highway 74 bypass intersection, Kings Mountain.
We'll have partly to mostly sunny skies around the area today as high pressure builds in from the north behind yesterday's cold front. It'll be breezy from the northeast. We'll have cooler and less humid conditions with highs about 72 to 77. Tonight will be mainly clear and cool. We'll have a couple of patches of low clouds possible toward morning with lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. Then partly cloudy for Wednesday, still pleasantly mild tomorrow with a northeast wind and highs again about 72 to 77. I'm meteorologist Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Currently at the Big O Country Studios, it's 10:07, and the temperature is 63 degrees.
Medical Center Pharmacy in Cherryville takes this time to invite you to the Big Health Fair, Sunday afternoon, September 22nd from 4 to 7 p.m. You'll be able to get your flu shots before flu season hits. Plus, Big O Country will be broadcasting live from 4 to 7 with free hot dogs, chips, and soft drinks. Plus, register to win some great prizes. That's Sunday afternoon, September 22nd, from 4 to 7 p.m. The Big Health Fair and Flu Shot Clinic, Medical Center Pharmacy, East Academy Street in Cherryville.
These days, it seems like many companies are more focused on making things cheaper by reducing quality, performance, and reliability, while at the same time increasing their bottom line at the expense of you, the consumer. This is not our philosophy. At SCAG, we are constantly looking for new and innovative ways to improve our products and deliver increased productivity. See the good selection of SCAG products, including Moore's, at Elliott Supply, your sales and service dealer for SCAG in Cleveland County. Elliott Supply, Highway 182 in Polkville.
Helton inviting you to join me as I count down the week's top 30 with Justin Moore, who's rooting for the Razorbacks.
You know, so far we've played pretty good ball.
Are you known for a suey pig?
Pig suey. Woo, pigs.
That's Justin Moore this week on Country Countdown USA.
Country Countdown USA with Lon Hilton. Friday afternoons 1 to 4 right here on Big O Country.
Good morning. It's time now for the Community Profile on WLON, WOHS, WCSL, and on the internet. You can watch and listen at ktcbroadcasting.com. Sandy Alexander is in the house along with yours truly, Milton Baker. Sandy, the co-host and executive producer of the Community Profile. Sandy, welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. You couldn't be with us yesterday. We missed you.
I'd much rather be in here, believe me.
We had Mr. Harkey here yesterday. He's a great guy. And you would have enjoyed meeting him. So we're trying to have Daryl back another time. But we have another great guy with us today. Would you please introduce?
I'll be happy to. Kevin Starr is here. He is the retiring Lincoln County Extension Director. He has spent many years in this position. Well, 22 and a half in Lincoln County and 7 and a half in Robertson County. So welcome, Mr. Starr.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you.
I call him Kevin because we go back a ways.
We go back, yeah. We were like children. We used to go down to the creek.
I know. We'd put pennies on the railroad track and stuff like this. Sandy's looking at us.
Well,
like,
after 10
really?
minutes, I'll call him Kevin.
Kevin, yeah. But yes, we've been doing some radio interviews for quite a while now, and kind of that got derailed for a while, but
back to the railroad track.
Back on the railroad we went, smashing pennies. But we are glad to have you with us here and to talk about your career and your retirement, But some other things going on, too. We're going to touch base on the Apple Festival, which is a little bitty thing that's coming up this weekend. just a little bitty thing.
Yeah.
But first of all, well, congratulations on your retirement.
Well, thank you. Not quite there yet, but it's
end of the year, is that right?
Yeah, right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas. Oh, okay. So you'll be a retiree come Christmas time.
Yes. Well, I will have stopped working by then.
Yeah.
Had to take some annual leave, finish it out. But.
Okay. All right. So you've got, let's see now, tell us about your family.
Well, I'm married to, my wife is Sharon. Sharon, Sandy, you were talking about Boiling Springs. My wife works at Gardner-Webb University. She's the Dean of Nursing over there. We're real proud of her. And then I have two daughters, Erin, who is a guidance counselor, and Amy, who is actually just taking a job at First Baptist Church in Henderson, North Carolina. They're just moving down there, and her husband Brandon. So we've got a great family. We've been very fortunate.
There you go. So you get to see them a little more, I guess, in your retiring days there.
Yeah, I've threatened to actually move in for weeks at a time.
There you go. They said, Daddy, don't you feel like you could work another few years?
Yeah, I don't think they're really looking for that, but unless they need a dog sitter pretty bad.
And you're retiring because it just seems like a good time.
Just seems like the right time. I'll be in December. I'll be 62. I've worked 30 years for Extension, and it's really been a great organization to work for. And Lincoln County has been a great place to work. We've had some really good folks there, and we've got a great staff. But there comes a time, everybody says you'll know it when it's time. And I think I did. You realize that, you don't have the, maybe the energy you once did. Maybe it's time to think about other things and let somebody else, try that position for a while. And, but, everything that has a beginning has an end. So that's, I'm not going to break out in the birds song.
I think so. To everything.
Yeah.
Turn.
Yeah.
Sandy? Yeah.
Kevin, what part of your job through the years has been something that you will never forget? A certain particular one you really, really enjoyed?
Well, I think in general, just the having the opportunity to try to help people with their questions and needs. I really enjoy working with the farmers when it comes to the fruit and vegetable crops and so on. But also really enjoyed working with Master Gardeners. They've been a very supportive group. But just the opportunity to try to help people and be an unbiased source of information, because there is a lot of misinformation out there. My specialty is horticulture, and a lot of people just they just need a good straight answer to their questions without any bias and without anybody trying to sell them anything.
Yeah, we've often talked about the information that the Cooperative Extension gives. You're not selling a product, whether it be helping people with, like you say, fruits and vegetable plants or trees or whatever, all the way down to insurance questions, because you guys work in that area.
Yeah, looking at the whole agency, we cover everything from our 4-H and youth program to agriculture and family and consumer science. And you're kind of referring to the SHIP program, the Seniors Health Insurance Information Program, which Melinda Hauser oversees. We have some wonderful volunteers who people get so confused about things like Medicare Part D and so on. And really, even though they haven't been my programs, I'm very proud of what our staff has done to help people over the years. And they're so dedicated. And I think most people get an extension because they love helping people.
And let's talk about the staff. How big is the extension office in Lincoln County?
Well, we have 8 people right now. We would love to also have an ag agent.
Yeah.
But you remember Libby Yarber.
Absolutely.
Libby left last December. We haven't, due to the state's monetary difficulties, we haven't been able to fill that, but we've got a great staff. Joyce Dorsey, who is our administrative support specialist. Joyce does a great job, and really she's the key to the Apple Festival. She handles all the registration. Sandy, you've talked to Joyce, and then in our 4-H area we have April Dillon, our 4-H agent, Fran Centers, our program associate, Brenda Street is our 4-H secretary. They have a super program going on with the youth. And then in the family and consumer science area, we have Lee Guth, Melinda Hauser, and Judy Moore. We're really fortunate to have a very, very strong staff.
Mm-hmm. And absolutely. And back a few years ago when we did the weekly program, Extension Today, we called it, the different agents would come in on different days, and we covered everything. Like I say, Melinda would come in, and we would either talk about the Seniors Health Insurance Information Program, or we would talk about how it's safe to can your home vegetables. I mean, you never know what we're going to talk about. You and I, Kevin, we've covered it all. We have covered, and two things I will always remember from all the programs we did over the years. Number one, I'm going to always remember Mr. Stripey tomatoes. Sandy, have you ever had a Mr. Stripey?
I don't know.
You would know. You would know it. You would know if you had a Mr. Stripey tomato.
I look at Kevin and I say, what?
And number two, when you plant a tree, Kevin, tell Sandy what you always do when you plant a tree.
Look up.
Look up.
Look up.
Don't plant your tree under a power line or too close to the house.
After all those hours of interviews,
yes,
Milton remembers two things:
Mr. Stripey and look up.
So that really makes me feel like my 30 years have been well spent.
That's it. If you just got one out of the two across to me, you did well.
So the moral of that story is don't plant a tree under a
power line.
Power line.
Right.
I got that one, but what about Stripey?
Mr. Stripey tomatoes, let me get this right, Kevin. They're an heirloom.
They are an heirloom tomato variety.
Tomato variety. I always dreamed of planting some Mr. Stripey tomatoes ever since Kevin introduced me to the name Mr. Stripey tomatoes, and unfortunately I did not get any planted since we've been discussing them. But one of these days,
even after I retire, you could plant a Mr. Stripey tomato.
They will always be around.
Now explain to the semi-farmer girl, what is a stripey tomato? What makes it different?
Kevin will have to tell you that.
It's basically a yellow variety that sort of has a pinkish blush on it. So it has the effect of stripes on the tomato. It's a really good tasting tomato, and not as popular probably as the Cherokee Purple, but it's pretty well known.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, back to the Apple Festival, Kevin. You're not leaving the area, are you?
No.
You're staying around, so you'll see many more Apple Festivals to come. But the Extension office, like I said, Joyce, she's just very busy, especially this time of year. The closer and closer it gets. But tell us about this year's Apple Festival. Anything going on that folks should know?
I think we're going to see, pretty similar to what we normally see. Of course, there's a lot going on with all the booths, the craft booths, the food booths, and street booths, and so on. Musical entertainment will be there this year. Paul Haynes Dairy, they're going to have a large cow there to commemorate their, I believe it's their 100th anniversary.
Yeah, I think so.
And it is not a real cow.
I was going to say,
I don't want you to get, it's very large. I think maybe 12 feet tall. We couldn't have a cow that large at the Apple Festival. The farmers market, and the focus of the whole thing is the apple growers. So there's going to be a lot of apples for sale, probably a lot more apple food products for sale this year than we've had in a long time.
You mentioned before we went on the air the Extension groups. I won't say ladies because there's some men in these groups as well. They're making the apple pies.
Yeah, the fried apple pies were done several weeks ago, and so those were.
I think Joyce was here and talked about those.
Yeah. Those were finished, but the whole pies are being made right now at the Citizen Center. In fact, you can go in and buy up to a point this week. You can go in and buy the pies now, and then at some point they'll cut it off. The rest of the pies will be available on Saturday morning at the Apple Festival, and they're great pies. Now the Senior Citizens Council group, they have already made their apple butter, and that'll be for sale, but you have to get to those booths pretty fast to get the apple pies and apple butter. They sell out pretty fast.
Well, with a crowd of, what is usually the estimate, 60, 70,000?
Yes, you hear up to 80,000, and you know, we don't know, but it's a lot of people.
Yeah, so it's going to get gone pretty fast. They can't make enough apple pies to you know, for everyone all day long. To have.
And the great thing about the Apple Festival, I think what kind of epitomizes it is with the food, it's meant to help local people and to focus on local people. For instance, all the food booths have to be local nonprofit groups. So, you know, the festival is designed to celebrate our community and to benefit those in the community. So, you know, we have a lot of band boosters, sports boosters, different clubs and so on out there, and this is one of their major fundraisers of the year.
And people come from all around, obviously Lincoln County, but many counties in the area and out of state as well.
Yeah, you know, it's a time, a lot of times we'll hear about people who come into town, well, just like our kids are coming in for the Apple Festival, and you know, a lot of people's families, even out of state, they come in for the festival, and so it's a good excuse to have kind of a family reunion.
Very much so. Very much so. So it's coming up this Saturday, and it all officially begins at about, what, 9?
Yeah, officially it's 9 until 4, and that doesn't sound like a long time, but if you work at the Apple Festival, it's a long time.
Yeah, it's hope for a mild day, not too hot. We've seen weather, everything from torrential rains to extremely hot weather. Maybe this Saturday's going to be a pretty good day.
I don't think it's supposed to be too hot today. I believe it is going to be probably in the 80s. I mean Saturday. I think you know, the ideal day would be just a little bit on the cool side in the morning and just pleasantly warm in the afternoon. It's hard to hit it perfect.
Yeah. And in addition to the Apple Festival, well, there's always the apple crop you've got to think about. With all the rain we had, because it rained a little bit. With all the rain and stuff, how'd that affect your apple crop?
Well, that certainly promoted diseases on the apples. So you know, growers have to grade very tightly. But there's going to be abundant apples. In fact, we were out at one of the orchards on Sunday, picking up some apples and Asian pears, and so there'll be a lot of apples at the festival. And you know, we see people just carrying around in wagons and strollers and on their shoulders and what have you. But it's a great day for the apple grower and really to celebrate that heritage.
Yeah. Sandy?
I remember as a young girl, my mother would stand there and peel apples and apples and apples, and then she'd can them and she'd freeze them. But the thing that my brother and I enjoyed was those fried apple pies. And we would get those as treats. If we did get in school, if we did our chores, everything like that, then we'd come home, there'd be these perfectly moon-shaped apple fried pies. And so that's a pleasant memory for me about apples and, you know, being young. So.
Yeah.
Great memory for me also, because my mom used to make those and apple pies too, and she was, you know, just really special. And you miss those things after.
Well, the big apple pie was kind of like for the family, but when you saw the little ones, you knew it was for the younger ones.
There you go.
So we enjoyed that.
There you go. All right. So everybody listening in the area, remember the Apple Festival in downtown Lincoln on Saturday. If you have trouble finding a parking place, you still have shuttle service?
Yeah, the Kiwanis Club still provides a shuttle from Lincoln High School on North Aspen Street.
Yeah.
And so that's a great way to get in there if you can't find a close. But there are a few lots that charge on or near Main Street, and that's really good, but those will fill up fast. So two really big parking areas are at Lincoln High School and at Gaston College, which is on South Aspen Street. But the shuttle is from Lincoln High School. It's a great service that Kiwanis Club provides.
And one other thing, I guess, is still the rule: leave your pets at home.
Yeah, leave your pets at home. There is a place that if people don't know that and accidentally bring a pet, there is a place on East Main Street, kind of a doggy daycare thing that is being provided, and so even that can be accommodated. But if folks need more information, there's a lot of information on our website, which is LincolnCountyAppleFestival.com.
Okay. All right, so go check that out. And as always, you've got plenty of police and emergency services personnel around. If anyone has a health issue if it's too hot and overheat or anything like that, or walk too far and twist an ankle, you got folks around.
There are we get tremendous support from all law enforcement, emergency services. You could not have a festival this size without that support. And they plan and they do such a great job, and they're really right there on the spot if anyone needs help.
And hats off to the folks after the festival whose day really just begins, because on Sunday morning, folks, we say it every year, but on Sunday morning, you drive through downtown Lincoln, it's as clean and pristine you would never know. 70,000 or more people had roamed the streets the day before.
The City of Lincoln crews do an unbelievable job, and it's a long, tough day for them, but they're fantastic.
Yeah, they really keep
a totally group effort to make all this come
together.
It's
a community festival, and it takes the whole community really to put it on. Just about when you start to think about everybody that comes and helps at a booth, there are thousands of people that are really involved.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, again, over the years, it's been a pleasure to interview you, get to know you. And I know one thing you love are farmers markets. Farmers market in Lincoln still going until what, in November?
Yeah, the farmers market in Lincoln is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings, opening up at 7, going till noon, and they will go to the last Saturday before Thanksgiving. The one at Denver is Saturday mornings only, 8 a.m. to noon, and they will go through the Saturday before Thanksgiving, and then they'll start their winter market, which will be the first and third Saturday, December through March.
Okay. All right. Well, once again, it's a pleasure having you. It's a pleasure to have had you on the air with us in the past and work with you in whatever way we could through the years. And good luck in your retirement. Have a happy retirement.
Well,
absolutely.
Thank both of you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, somebody has a question. We have a question on line 1. Okay, let's see who this is. And Kevin, you might have to grab those headphones there to be able to hear. Let's turn you up there a little bit. All right, you have a question, Kevin Starr?
You bet. This is Jim over in Shelby.
Yes,
I just
sir.
want Kevin to answer, when's the best time to whip your okra?
Kevin can't hear you. He said, when's the best time to whip? I've heard of this. Whip your okra. Have you ever heard of whipping the okra?
I have heard of whipping your okra. This is not something that's really necessary for okra.
Oh, it is too.
But I have heard of it. But if your okra's behaved well, I think it's something you really don't.
As opposed to spanking.
Don't need to do.
I think they outlawed corporal punishment in okra fields years ago. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
That's a good question. I guess there's a lot of questions you've been asked over the years that, grandpa told son and son told grandson and so forth.
Yeah. We get a lot of we've had a lot of questions over the years, and but now this is the third thing you can remember. Milton, that is really not.
I don't know if I'll remember this.
It's not necessary to whip your okra as long as it's behaving.
I'll take along the pleasant memories of the Mr. Stripey tomato and
that's me
and
too.
looking up.
Me too.
Look up's a good thing to do any day and any time.
That's
Just
right.
look up.
Look up.
When you walk out to go to work, look up. If it's raining, hitting you in the face, go get your umbrella. Or if you're planting a tree, look up for power lines. All right, Kevin, great time spent with you today, and as always, and thanks for coming in. And we'll see you around.
Thank y'all.
Maybe see you at the Apple
Good luck.
Festival. All right, Sandy, that is it for today. If you would please tell us about tomorrow's program.
Okay, tomorrow from Boston, North Carolina, will be Keith Price from the Lincoln Center.
The Lincoln Center in Boston, and this is the Lincoln Center named for Abraham Lincoln, which, by the way, Lincoln County was not named for Abraham Lincoln, different Lincoln there. But the folks in Boston and Rutherford County, they have some pretty good evidence in their argument that Abraham Lincoln was born in that area along Puzzle Creek. And Keith Price will be here tomorrow to discuss that and the efforts they've gone through to try to get DNA matching with some of the families in the area that could be descendants of Abraham Lincoln. So it's very interesting. They have a Boston Lincoln Center, and we'll find out more about it as well. So that's tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. And Kevin, again, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, folks. We thank you for listening in today. Join us again tomorrow right here on the Community Profile Program. And as always, if you have a person or topic of interest, please give us a call, and we'll look into doing a show on that.
Listen from the minute you wake up, and in no time we'll have you saying,
Good morning.
WHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherville Gaston.